What's up, ugly ass niggas? This your boy J Miles, and I'm back with another video. And you know what to do. If you're new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure you share with your ugly ass friends. On today's video, we will be covering Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, and this one right here is the episode 8 final predictions. So basically, up in this particular video, I know it's been kind of a while since I did final predictions. I think I maybe took the past two, maybe even three episodes off. I mean, and I kind of been doing them. It's just been more of a like I've been doing it on my live, but this time I'm doing like an individual video for it. It's the first time I did that in like a little while. But anyways, I'll be going over all of my predictions of what I'm expecting basically up in this particular video. And it's not going to be in any order, but it's just the things that I'm speculating and predicting to happen. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. Now, to start things off, we're going to go ahead and go with the read off the episode 8 synopsis, which reads: Rock goes on the offense as Rock and Lou, as Marvin and Lou attempt to contain the escalating situations. Jukebox joins the search for OC while Kanan looks into his theory on what happened to Famous. So those are the key things that's going to be taking place in this particular episode. And in my opinion, when it's saying that Rock goes on the offense, well, basically, I think that it's going to be indicating basically that she's going to be having a successful run with her product. Basically, she's gonna get that product that she's been trying to get from what's the Afghan names, guys? Now I keep forgetting his name, and I'm probably never gonna learn it. But anyways, y'all can let me know what his name is in the comments if you want to. I might remember it this time. But anyways, she's going to end up getting the product from him. As you can see, we do see the image. This comes from the product that the Afghan guy is going to be delivering to her. And basically, she's going to be on top for a while. Not for very long, I don't believe. And I also believe that she's going to be able to successfully negotiate with Stefano to maybe temporarily get some peace going on to get him on board to kind of quiet that noise, because as you know, they did have a little static that was going on last episode because of the unique showing up situation and things in that nature. But another situation is getting ready to emerge because, as we know, Marvin has been doing side jobs with Stefano. And of course, since early Tyler kind of messed that situation up, it's not going too well for him. So basically, I just did a video on the exclusive clip, basically to get a little bit of of what their conversation was like. So basically, Stefano, was questioning Marvin on what happened to his friend that got killed and his body was dumped up in the river. Marvin told him he didn't know, what happened, but of course we know later on he absolutely, we know he did. He knows that it was early Tyler who took him out, but of course he didn't tell Stefano because Stefano already told him prior that if early makes any mistakes, he's going to be looking at him for it. So technically, Stefano threatened him here, and later on, Marvin relayed the news over to Rock, and now they're back in a pickle, as Stefano would say. So that's something else that we know will be happening. But another thing that absolutely that I would like to point out, it said in the synopsis that that Kanan is going to be tasking Juke with the situation that is going on with OC, right? So with that being said, we know that they do have a meetup here, and he's gonna also let her know that he believes Rock is responsible for the death of Famous. Juke is gonna disagree with him and tell him, and I believe she's gonna tell him not to, not to just jump into a conclusion, and to, sit tight until they can get a little bit more information. But also, I believe in the midst of this same meeting, more than likely, Kanan told her about the OC situation that he's missing and the money that he's been saving for, the money that he's been saving for the business he was talking to her about last episode is now gone, and because it's missing. And I could possibly see Juke here letting Kanan know that, especially after if he tells her that the lock was unlocked instead of broken, that I think she's going to be like, OC didn't do that on his own. She's going to speculate that Crystal was involved as well. Now, of course, Kanan, I don't know, is he sprung on her? Is he whipped? Possibly. So he'll disagree with her like he did with Davina. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see with that. But speaking of Crystal, we also know that she's going to be paying a visit to, she loved that red jacket. I see that. Y'all see how many times she got that red, you see the red jacket right here. She had that red jacket on a couple times. This is like at least the third or fourth episode I'm seeing her with it. But anyways, the reason that she is here, I believe, is that there will be a memorial service for Grandma Joyce. And of course, with her being with Kanan, she's going to also attend it. And perhaps maybe her and Rock will have a little bit more conversation. Rock invites her over to the house, and they have a little bit more discussions. And I think, of course, like always, Rock is going to be concerned with what's going on with Kanan. And since I think her and Juke is probably not in the same situation that they used to be, she may be leaning a little bit more on Crystal to try to get some information. She might even attempt to bribe her. We do know that more than likely, judging by what Crystal, was saying to Juke in episode 3 or 4, whichever episode it was, that they were in the apartment together and Kanan left. Juke kind of caught on that she might be holding on to Kanan for money purposes. So if Rock was to offer her the same thing, would she squeal? More than likely, she will. So don't be surprised if Rock makes a pitch to her, maybe even decides to tell her that, hey, get out of town. You're a nice girl. You're smart. This game can ruin your life. So maybe Rock is going to, because I know a couple of people were saying that they believe Rock may potentially take Crystal out. I absolutely don't believe that, because the reason why I don't believe that, if you can remember in last episode, episode 7, Joyce Thomas' dying declaration to Rock was to take care of her son. So basically, I believe Rock is going to take that. I think she's going to take that to heart. She's going to remember that was her mother's dying words and her last request to her. So I think she's going to hold that dear. And I believe that's the reason why we got this image here with Rock holding this outfit. This look like a blazer. If I'm not mistaken, I absolutely seen Joyce wear this particular outfit. So I think that's what she's doing. She's looking in the mirror, trying it on possibly, and reminiscing of her mother. And she's going to remember that her last words were to take care of Kanan. So her taking out, Kanan's love wouldn't be taking care of him. So she knows that would hurt him. So I think she absolutely wouldn't do that. She may just send her out of town. But like I told y'all in my video already, that I believe it could be Jukebox who gets to her. But anyways, speaking of which, I also told y'all that I believe it's possible that Rock may have sent the feds to, you know what I'm saying, may have sent the feds to Unique. That may have very much have happened. That's the reason why we see Garcia at your boy in the Unique spot, and he's going to be getting him into some attention that he don't want. But like I told you also in that video, he could possibly spin it and send Garcia their way. So don't be surprised if that happened. Now, also, as we know, it says up in the synopsis that Kanan is going to task Juke with the situation going on with OC. Now, according to what I've heard from a couple of channels and people, that this person here that's going to be here with Juke is none other than a relative, maybe a brother, possibly even a cousin or whatever of OC. And more than likely, this is Juke going out on a mission to find him. And perhaps she does find him. I don't know whether dead or alive. She's going to get that information from them. And I wouldn't be surprised when she gets here and she extracts the information from maybe this guy here or whoever, that she finds out and puts two and two together that Crystal was also in on that hit. Basically, on that robbery or whatever you want to call it, to take Kanan's money. So that is what leads on to the disappearance of Crystal that we've seen that's going to be happening in episode 9. It may happen this episode, but they're not going to discover that she's missing until episode 9. So that's another thing to be looking out for. Also, keep in mind, I said this also in one of my previous videos, that Juke is going to be trying to do more investigation on what's going on with Famous. So since it was said that the Dirty Cops were behind it, she might do some infiltrating and try to discover what is it that the police knows. That could be the reason why we see Garcia sitting here with Juke. Also, it could be the situation going on with them trying to set Garcia up, because like I told y'all, and I also in one of my previous videos, if you haven't watched my previous videos discussing how Garcia could potentially be taken out and things in that nature, I advise you go ahead and take a look at it so you can know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, this could be her setting up the plan to ultimately meet Garcia's demise. But hey, that's another thing that we definitely should be looking out for. Now, another thing with Kanan, basically going to, they said Kanan is going to be looking into his theory on what happened to Famous. So, in my opinion, with them saying he's going to be looking into his theory on what happened to Famous. If he thinks that his mother is responsible for this, think about this. If he thinks his mother is responsible and that the cops are those suspect that did the dirty work, he's going to go to someone that he knows is reliable as far as, who is reliable as far as, very informational, who has their hands in everything, including law enforcement. And that those people are going to be snaps and pop. Now, what I could see happening is snaps and pops could manipulate Kanan into believing that, yes, your mother was involved. I'm sorry to say it, to tell you that, son, but it was indeed Raquel. That's the information I got from a reliable source. I can see them trying to pull off some BS like that. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to be making, because their whole plan has been and always is and always has been since we've seen them in season 3, is to steer Kanan away from Rock. They want access and total control over Kanan so that they can use him to their own liking. And I think after they get done manipulating and lying to Kanan, it might be revealed that it was none other than Snap and Pop that was actually behind the death of Famous. But they're going to point it Kanan into another direction, kind of like when a thief, you know what I'm saying, steals your money and then helps you look for it, right? So that's what I think could be going on here in this on top of this building. They're meeting with the dirty cops that did the situation, and they're probably trying to diffuse it and make sure they keep their plan tight so that they can, you know, ultimately keep their agenda going to eliminate Rock and get Kanan under their full control, right? Also, to give a little bit more context on what I mean about them manipulating Kanan into believing that it was Rock responsible for that, an example of that, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a parallel. A parallel of that is when, just like when Kanan fooled Ghost, like it was Roller responsible for the death of, well, not the death, but you know, responsible for hitting his organization when in actuality, you know, it was him. So Snap and Pop is going to be pulling that same situation if I'm right about this. And since Kanan, to a degree, probably trusts them, plus he already wants to believe it in the first place, he's going to just go with it, possibly. So I don't know. Things aren't looking too well for our girl, Raquel Thomas. But we know she is very slippery, so I guess we'll have to wait to see how she's going to slip her way out of this particular situation. Now, for the next one, we also know another image that we have yet to see, and I was very curious of, and I talked about this also in one of my particular videos already, is that is this image right here. As you can see, you see Detective Garcia walking along with Juke, and it looks like kind of similar to the same location, maybe, you know what I'm saying, to what we saw on the episode 8 trailer, where you know, we see somebody, well, actually I was able to identify that it was Lou shooting inside of a car. And like I said, in my opinion, I believe that it looks like it's a police car that he was shooting inside of. So I know that was Lou. So it could be that Juke will lead Garcia to the slaughter because he is doing way too much and he has become a major threat to their family. So that is what I can see happening. Also, we know, also before I get up out of here, I think we can say that we will see this particular image as well, this particular episode. I think this is coming because like I told you guys in my other exclusive clip where you see Marvin talking with Rock about the early Tyler situation, he mentioned that Early did the murder of that Meg man with his cousin and Londale, and this is Londale here. So I think he's absolutely going to take him out this episode. And so we'll finally get this image and put this to bed for all the people that's speculating on who they think this is. Like I've heard a couple of other people that people thought it was. But yeah, that is something that I am definitely expecting to happen as well. So pretty much, I think that is all that I have as far as my predictions for this particular episode. I'm trying to make sure didn't leave anything out. But if I did, y'all can definitely let me know in the comment section and we can, chat it up there on whether or not I missed a few things. But yeah, for the most part of the main points of what I think is going to be happening in this episode, I think I got it in here. But always feel free to leave y'all thoughts and opinions in the comment section. And like I said, once again, I appreciate everybody that's been rocking with my channel for the longest. That's been liking, sharing, hitting me up on Instagram, joining the live streams, and of course, donating to the channel. Big shout out to all of y'all. I appreciate it. Much love for you. But pretty much that's all I got for y'all for this particular video. So, like usual, if you're cool with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure you share with your glad friends. But until the next video, I'm out.